Hello and welcome to the Quibber channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever. I've just had a massive amount of stress, which thankfully is sorted now. And it's to do with eBay. You see, as people know, I talk about it often, that I don't have any money coming in to cover buying technology, and technology is a primary coping strategy for me. So usually what happens is this: as my situation changes, I create new coping strategies to deal with what goes on in my brain, I will have a pile of technology items that I no longer use, items that are not part of my primary system, and therefore I'm going to put this, they just get recycled via eBay. What I'll usually do is look on eBay for something that's interests. Usually something will actually happen. Usually the other way around, actually. It's usually, I'll be looking around and I'll see some new piece of technology, like a server or a tablet, that I can in some way refine my coping strategies, because the whole point of my coping strategies is to take out all of the negatives of any. For example, let's say I had a tablet and it was 95% perfect and it could do everything that I want except for that 5%. I'd always be looking for something that could be the 100% version of that. For example, my Steam Decks that I sold on eBay, the screen was just getting to be too small and no longer useful for me. And so at first I thought, okay, let's explore the idea of using a tablet. But most tablets are Android or iPads and all that. I don't want them. They're no good. And the Surface Pro stuff is just too much. But I found the perfect tablet. The G-Tac that I bought a while ago through eBay second hand. It was perfect. It not only plays all my games on Steam and that, it's got enough power to that, but it's a Windows tablet that's waterproof and can go in my bag and can go out with me on my mobility scooter, and it's got a built-in wireless and everything works, and it just works. So that takes away a bit of the negatives and brings up my coping strategy ability. And the reason this is so important is, as I do my coping strategies, if the better the coping strategy is, the less energy it takes me, the less mental bandwidth it takes to do it. For example, this is my phone. It works perfectly to do the things, except it's a little bit broke, a little bit damaged on the screen and that, but that doesn't matter. I don't play games on it. I mainly Audible books, and it does that perfectly, and it does all the bits and pieces. I've got a backup phone ready to go in case this one fails, so I don't have to freak out. I can keep using this until it fails, because where's my new phone? My other phone, my backup phone is here already. Got its own 1 terabyte micro SD in it. It's basically turned off most of the time, and it's just there, ready. So having that ready means that I don't get stressed out about this one failing. which means this one failing means I don't have to change this yet, and I can keep using this and then go on to this when this does actually fail, when the actual crack or damage actually affects the screen sensor for the fingerprints and stuff. When things stop working on things, when things start to fail, but I don't have that extra little bit worrying in my head of I won't have a phone while all this is going. I've actually got the phone ready to take its place. That's how I have to work, because the more things I can set up like that, it's like having the Quingo. The Quingo is absolutely amazing. It's the most wonderful piece of tech in the world. I love it. I went out today and I was out for 2 hours and it was wonderful. Wore me out completely. I mean, if you watch the videos, which they're long videos, but I stopped doing the videos like I would say about an hour away from home, simply because I couldn't talk anymore. It wasn't that my throat was sore or anything, but I'd so enjoyed the actual travel all the way through around Bentley and going around Hanley that I had basically my brain had no bandwidth anymore to actually speak to you on a vlog, so I just had to shut it down because it had gone completely. But it was so much fun. But what makes the Quingo better is I've got my Pride Revo in the background in case there's something wrong with the Quingo. I don't have that little tiny bit of negative and worry that if my Quingo fails, I won't be able to. Oh my God, where's my thingy? No, it's like, okay, for now I can use my Pride Revo and I can get the Quingo fixed. Simple. So that's how things have always worked. And eBay has been a massive part of that over the years, because the human brain is fluid, it's dynamic. Coping strategies and mental levels and always changing. So I'm always looking for new coping strategies to help. So because the more coping strategies I have that work, the more mental bandwidth I've got, the more I can get done during the day and not basically wear myself out. I mean, today going out on the Quingo was a really big thing when you think about it, how far I was going. So before this video gets too long, it's going too long, eBay has just changed the whole fucking thing. Used to be, I would find an item that I really wanted that could become part of the coping strategy, and I'd say, okay. I'd look over my technology and look at the items that I wasn't using anymore or were less than optimal, and I'd put them on eBay for a good price, for a bargain price, and they usually sell pretty much instantly, and then from there that money goes straight into the item. eBay's changed the situation now. They've changed the rules. 4th of February, and they didn't advertise it very well, but basically what happens now is if I sell an item on eBay, someone buys it with the money, that money goes into a kind of almost escrow. Used to be the money available within like 4 or 5 hours, grab it, send it to my bank account, grab the new thingy. Perfect for my brain to be able to do that. The most I ever had to wait is like 12 hours for it to hit my bank account, and that's like for 2, 3, 4 years of using recent eBay things. Just worked. Now that money that the buyer pays to you doesn't go to you. It goes to this little bubble area here in the pending section and stays there until confirmation that they have received your item. So instead of it being like a 4-hour between them paying and you getting the money, it can now be a week or more than 6, 7, 8 days. I didn't know about this when it came to the server. So I had seen these servers. I knew I wanted to get one of these servers, that it would be a massive bonus to my future coping strategy. I could build an entire coping strategy around the idea of a professional server that I could upgrade and mess about with and just look at and beautiful and wonderful technology affinity coping strategy. So I said, okay, I know how much I need. Let's see what I've got that I'm not using anymore, because I've always got backup technology that I'm not using. I've usually got 3 or 4 different triple backups. So I think, grab something, sell it. I'm thinking, saying, okay, so I'll bid on this one because within 4 hours I'll have that money there, and then I can use that money to buy this. Only the money didn't go in, did it? Because we'd gone past the 4th and I didn't know. And the last thing I did was before the 4th and everything was normal. And so I was out quite a bit of money. Thankfully, I had a little buffer of money in the bank, but it used up nearly all of that because I wasn't worried, because the money would normally just go and that. And this is how eBay has worked for years, and they've decided to change it. Well, I know now. Thankfully, it's okay. It's okay. There's no worries. I have friends, good friends, who are helping me out for this just to make sure. And I've just got to wait like 4 or 5 days for this money to transfer. But it's caused me a lot of stress tonight. A lot of stress. Stress that shouldn't have happened. Don't like it when things changed. It's eBay's changed. It's changed in weird ways. Used to be the buyer. The seller, what happened was you get the money and eBay would take it 23% or whatever. Now they take it from the seller. So when you calculate the price of selling goods now, you have to realise that the person that's buying from you is going to have to put an amount of money on top of it. I'm rambling now. I needed to do this though because my brain's freaked out because of the way they've changed everything. I don't like change, and because this change has caused monetary stress to me. eBay, I probably won't be using eBay again, or I'll have to alter the whole way I do it. I'm going to have to plan out now, like weeks ahead, if I want to swap some of my technology for the technology, which leaves me with a gap in between where I don't have the technology. I never worried about that because, like, for example, I sold the Steam Deck, and within like a day, it arrived really quickly, the next bit out, because it was just happening. I've never had to plan out for it, so I'm going to have to change the way I do it. As you can tell, this has stressed me out a lot because I don't like it when things change. When things change, it bothers me a lot. Yeah, so for like forever, it's always been the old way where you sell an item, they charge me as the seller fees. Now it's free to sell, but the buyer has to pay. So if you're going to sell something, you've got to realise that buyer is going to probably be charged more, and so your items might not sell quick because the buyer's going to have to pay like 23% on top or something like that of the price that you put it up at. It kind of sucks. Anyway, I needed to get this out of my head so I can probably, hopefully, get to sleep now. It's 1:36 a.m. Yay! I was so happy earlier today, so happy earlier today. Everything was going fine, and I just logged into my eBay and thought, Yeah, the money should be there by now. It should have been there, and so I can transfer it over to cover the cost of the server. And then I realised it was still wasn't there, and it was like, oh, bugger. Yeah. You want to know when things? Yeah. I don't like when things are changed like this. But I'm okay. It's all sorted. Friends helping me out, which is, I'm so lucky to have friends. And I know now moving forward, I will not have this problem, because I now know that I'm just going to have to alter. If I do want to buy something from eBay, I'm going to have to plan 2 weeks ahead and work out. It's going to be a very different thought. Short-term stuff goes in one place in my brain. Longer-term stuff, even week, goes in another place, and it's like, it's very hard for me to explain just how different this is. How for so many freaking years I've been doing this standard thing of just, if we need this, I can do this. And now that's changed. It's gone from a 24-hour to 3-day period of transactional situation to I'm going to have to plan this out 2 to 3 weeks ahead. And as you can tell, my brain's going to have to create a new set of coping strategies for that part. Oh, so my brain is just, hopefully I can get to sleep now. The bed's already out, and the dog is just, Zachy is under the covers here. Bertie's on his little bed down there. He's snuggled down there. Okay. Bye-bye for now.